Hey there, welcome back to Simple Happy Zen. It's Vera, and in this video I want to talk to you about healthy productivity habits. And I want to share with you some of the things that have helped me to be more productive, and I hope they can help you too. My personal productivity philosophy is that it's not so much about cramming as many things into one day as you possibly can. It's about getting things done, yes, but in a way that is mentally and physically healthy so that we can find a balance and keep it up and keep being productive in the long run. These 10 productivity habits that I share in this video have helped me personally to get that balance. So let's begin with the first. The first productivity habit is to give yourself 15 to 30 minutes at the start of each work day or work session to warm up. Especially if you're having a hard time getting started because there's this big task up ahead, then giving yourself some warm-up time can help you to get the juices flowing and get into that productive mindset. So do some small, easy tasks first, and this will help you to shift your mood from being lazy or unmotivated to feeling like you're ready to do some work. And it can be a lot of different things. I always like to tidy up around the house a little bit or just answer some emails. You can also even do a short Sudoku puzzle to warm up the brain, anything to increase motivation and get you into that more productive feeling. Habit number 2, that is plan. Have some sort of system in place to plan out your tasks. You can write them down in your bullet journal or your notebook. You can plan in your digital calendar or just on your phone. It doesn't really matter where you plan or how you plan, but plan in some way. Most people have different projects in their life that they're working on. Maybe there's fitness or cooking or housework, and then there's work. Maybe there's a side hustle or a passion project or the kids. And if we don't write things down, it can easily get overwhelming because we feel like we have to keep track of all our to-dos in our head, and they can feel much bigger than they are. I always notice how I sometimes forget to plan out my tasks. Some weeks I keep them organized and some weeks I don't take the time to plan. And those weeks are always more stressful for me. So that's when I'm reminded of the importance of planning. Productivity tip number 3 is to create the right ambience. So set the mood for a productive day. When I work from home, I like to open the windows and let in some fresh air if possible, if it's not too cold. And maybe I will light some incense or burn some essential oils. I also like to have some soft, relaxing music on in the background, or sometimes I will even put on nature sounds. I know it sounds silly, but it helps me to be more productive. If you don't work from home, there's probably also some things that you could do. For example, when I used to work at a very crowded, busy office, I always tried to create the right ambience to help me concentrate better. So for example, I used to wear earphones when I wanted to concentrate, even when I wasn't listening to music, so that people wouldn't come up and disturb me and talk to me. I also kept my desk as tidy as possible. I put a little green plant there, and I brought my favorite tea. Next productivity habit is using time blocks, and this means that you're being a little strategic and intentional with how you spend your day and your time. You can divide your day up into different blocks, different time blocks, and then schedule your tasks in a logical way. I will show you a personal example. Let's say that these are my tasks for the day. It wouldn't really make sense to me to do them in this order. I would have to switch all the time from one type of task to another. So instead, I could divide them up into groups logically and make it look like this. So in the morning, I will first do a couple of little things, and then I have a time block where I write 2 scripts for new videos. In the afternoon, I will have a time block when I'm editing, which is when I need to feel most creative. And after that, I have a time block for cleaning and exercising, which are more physical tasks. And in between, I will take short breaks. An important habit of productive people is that they focus less on being busy and more on being effective. Now, being busy has become a bit glorified in our society, and we feel people who are very busy must be very successful. But being busy doesn't necessarily mean that you're also being very effective with your time. Being effective means focusing your time and energy first on things that you can control, and then on things that have the most impact. So in short, prioritizing. And a great tool to help you prioritize better is the Eisenhower matrix. On the one hand, we have importance, and on the other hand, we have urgency. So tasks that are both important and urgent are tasks that we can do today. If something is important but not so urgent, then we can leave that for later. If something is urgent but not so important, we could see if we could delegate, push back, or break it up into something smaller. And if something is both not important and not urgent, then we can remove it from our list altogether. The next tip is to beat procrastination and get more done. We usually procrastinate things that are important, but at the same time we don't really feel like doing. So there's some resistance there that's keeping us from sitting down and starting something. For me, that's often things that I don't really know how to do and I also don't enjoy doing. So for example, things like taxes, administration, and also technical issues like integrating a new email software with my website. I want to get it done, but I don't know how to do it and I also don't enjoy doing it. To tackle this procrastination, the tip is to focus on the smallest, easiest next step that you could take towards this goal. And it can be ridiculously easy, just like opening an Excel file or watching a tutorial on email software. This action can then trickle down into the next ridiculously easy step that you could take towards your goal, and then the next. And before you know it, you're working on something. Next tip for more healthy productivity is to try and focus your tasks around your energy and not so much around your time. So instead of cramming all your tasks into one day, see if you can figure out when you have the most energy for something. And this requires you to tune in and listen to yourself. For example, when do you feel best when you're exercising? Is it early in the morning? Is it in the evening? When do you feel best when you're studying? Chances are these things will be different. Of course, when you work set hours, then a part of your day will be decided for you and you cannot choose what you want to do with that time. But you will always have some free time, and that's when it can really help to think about organizing your tasks around your energy levels. Number 8 is to schedule some buffer time or multiply the time that you expect to work on something by 1.5. And this will mean that you will have plenty of time to work on something and make sure it gets done right, without feeling pressured to get it done as fast as possible. I've seen productivity videos where they advise people to cut down their expected time by half, so that you will feel super pressured to get it done as quickly as possible. I don't personally agree with this. I think rushing things will lead to a lower quality that you will then have to redo at a later time, so it's not really effective. And I also think that keeping this up long term is kind of a recipe for a burnout. Something I learned from Lavender is that I try to keep my Friday afternoons open so that I can either spend them doing the tasks that I did not have time for during the rest of the week, or if I don't have any tasks left over, then I can just take that time to sit down, think of new ideas for the channel, or learn new skills. Next productivity habit is to schedule time for breaks and schedule time for distractions. Now let's talk about the breaks first. I don't think I have to tell you how important they are. You need to recharge if you want to be productive. So something I always do is I set an alarm on my phone. After 1 hour of working, I need to take a 10-minute break. Now let's talk about distractions. Of course, number 1 is this guy and the social media that's on here. If you feel distracted by social media, then schedule some time for it. Not too much time, but schedule a 10 or 15-minute break in your day, because then you can let go of worrying that there won't be time for you to check your social media. You know that there is time scheduled for it, and then you can just leave your phone away the rest of the day. Last but definitely not least, if we want to be productive and stay happy and healthy in the long run and get things done, then we need our rest and we need our sleep. It is crucial to finding balance. This tip will be especially helpful for overachievers, perfectionists, or just people who are very busy and juggle lots of different aspects of life. And that is to unplug before going to bed and just telling yourself, okay, the work is done now, I can let it go, tomorrow is another day, but for now I don't have to do anything or think about anything. And if you have trouble letting it go, then just take a post-it or a notebook and quickly write down what's still on your mind in the evening before going to bed, and place that notebook somewhere where you can find it in the morning, so that you know that you can let it go for right now and get a good night's sleep. I also have a guided meditation video for letting go of the day and transitioning into a more relaxed mood. I will link it down below if you're interested. If you want more videos, I make them every week, so be sure to subscribe and help me out by giving this video a big thumbs up. I will see you all soon and I'll talk to you down in the comments. Bye bye!